how all that, getting connected to the women farmers, I really wanted to get a more consistent supply of shea butter. And I wanted to make sure that I had a really good quality product. And so my husband and I started traveling to the communities where the butter is being made. In the process of doing that, we started seeing how the shea nuts were being harvested. And we started seeing how hard these women were working to harvest the nuts, bring it to their communities, and make it into butter. And while we were observing that, we were like, wow, these women, they work so hard. They are creating something that has so much value for the whole world. And yet they're living in poverty. And there was something about that didn't seem so right. And we knew that if we had the opportunity to build a brand that could not only sustain us in the United States, but allow us to be business partners with these women, that we would have an impact. People say, oh, you're helping and, you're giving back and wonderful, wonderful. But over the years, what I have realized is that the communities we work with in Nigeria and Ghana, and now we're working with a new set of women in the Republic of Benin, we are actually really grateful that we're able to partner with them and get a quality product, right? But one ways that we add benefit to the women's lives, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, when they talk about giving back to Africa, sometimes they make it seem like these African women are, they're just needy, waiting for someone to give them a new pair of shoes, bars of soap. And as an African woman, I'm like, that is not really what women want. They want the same things I want and you want. If you have a business or you have an enterprise, you want people who believe in you, right?
Yeah.
And people who see the value of either the content or the product that you're creating. And you want people to pay you fairly for what you're creating. And so that is what we try to do with our partnerships. Make it a win-win for both of us. And in order for us to be able to give these women access to market and, consistent business throughout the year, we also have to make sure that we're letting our customers, the retailers who carry us, know that as they support us, they are supporting women. And there's very little charity involved, but it's like economic upliftment for all parties involved, if that makes sense. For things to go on forever, it's like it has to be like mutually beneficial. So as we're doing well here, it's like, we can run back to the community and say, well, we did 1,000 pounds or 10,000 pounds last year. Well, guess what? We're going to do 25,000. And the beautiful thing, how we are in Africa, especially in the villages, it does things like that. It's like the whole community gets to celebrate. They break out the drums and they're like, hey, we're in business, we have a good customer, and they start singing your praises, which is amazing. But it's because it's working for everybody.
Oh, really?
And that's how I want it to be. I want it to be that when we win, that our win kind of ripples to all the other people that we're working with, especially women. The last image pictures I got were the women at their last co-op meeting, where they have this savings program. It's called the Susu. And because of all the money they were able to make, so it's like an investment club where everybody puts money in a pot and then each person, every month gets to take a little bit. And so they sent me pictures of their last Susu and told me how much they were able to put in and how much each woman was able to pull out. So sometimes it's little things, when you're a growing and small business, when you want to talk about impact, we haven't built schools, we haven't built hospitals. But one of the things I look at is the women we're working with are getting to a point where they can exhale a little bit, right? Because there is some income coming in. And when a woman gets to exhale, she's like, okay, I have extra that I know is coming in every month because we have Shea Radiance as one of our customers. That means that maybe my daughter Aisha, I can send her to school, make sure she stays in school because now we can buy books. Sometimes it's like little things, that little impacts that you're having that don't seem to be like earth shattering. But as a woman, that is meaningful to you. And so when you see those things happening in other women's lives, you're like, okay, Lord, I'm grateful that I'm part of this. And so those are the things I get excited about. And also in these farming communities where a lot of the shea butter comes from, they're mostly like agricultural communities. And sometimes their husbands have more than one wife. It's not unusual, right? In these older communities, yes, oh yeah. The husband could have 2 or 3 wives, right? And so when the farming season is over and, they sell the harvest, the husband still is the one who gets to decide how much each woman makes. Patriarchy, it's all over the world. It's a thing.
Yes.
But what I love about shea butter is that in West Africa, they call it women's gold. They call it women's gold because the woman gets to keep everything she makes out of either selling the nuts or butter. It's her money. It's understood that that's the woman's money. And so I get really excited about the fact that whatever business we do with the women, it's not dependent on their husbands to say, oh, you keep this or you keep that. That's her money to invest any way she wants to. And we know that when women have money, they invest in the family,
yes,
they invest in the community, and basically their success means that a whole community can be uplifted. So that gets me excited.